In this video I do a quick comparison of how the Winsor Newton inks compare to using Inktense pencils from Derwent. Hi everyone, just a quick video here. I've been working using some of the Winsor Newton inks on the wolf and on the cat drawing. Now, some of you have asked, do you think it's possible to get a similar effect using the Derwent Inktense? So someone gave me a load of Inktense. I haven't used them really before, so I was just going to try it out. Now, I've already mentioned in the tutorial video that these inks are pretty much just dyes. Apart from the black, the rest are just not Lightfast, and they're sold as really being not Lightfast. So for original works, they're not great. I know we're going to be, with the work I'm doing, I'm combining them with using Faber-Castell polychromos over the top, which is improving their Lightfast qualities by basically sealing them in and covering them so the top layers are going to be more pencils. But they're great for creating prints, but not for creating original artworks, sadly. I need to double check the Inktense Lightfast properties. Let's say, because I haven't used them much, it's not something I've really looked at. So what I'm going to do is I'll just do a little test. Just slide that up. I'm still going to work on the pastel mat. So what I'll try and do is just find some colours that kind of match these colours that we've got up here. So we've got a canary yellow there. So I'm guessing with these that it's going to be a case of putting them down, literally just adding the water, and then anywhere that you want the bleed, maybe you'll just need to overlap them a little bit. So we'll put a decent amount of that yellow down. Let's go for something that looks a little bit like that Viridian. Let's go for this one. And I'm going to overlap a little bit there as well and see what kind of bleed that we get. Because these might be a case of you add water and literally they stay where they are, which means it might be quite patchy, almost like mosaic, which isn't the effect that I've been going for really. I'm guessing these don't really need to match. This is quite close to the emerald. So again, we'll just overlap a little bit there. And then we'll bring in something like one of the reds. So it's quite a nice bright red. Try some of this over the top of that yellow as well. Oh, that's interesting. It looks really pale purple on one end, quite dark on the other. See, this is what, I mean, I'll see what happens when I add water, but no, to me, I put that down, and that is as dark, obviously, as it's coming out of the nib. So we'll see what happens when we add the water, but that is the colour that it's saying that it is, or the hue value that it is, tone, once the, is that right? It's a charcoal grey. Have I actually got a black? Yeah, I've got a black, and I've also got a white there, so I'll just add a touch of white over the top there, and a touch of black down here as well. So I'm going to do with this like I do with my watercolour pencils. I'm literally going to get a brush, fill it with water, take off the excess, and then just come in here and see what happens. Now you see, I don't think, I mean, I can add more water. We can try and force it to bleed. let's just do it that way. There we go. It can bleed. But I think you have good control over the placement, but because we're putting the pigment down quite flat using the pencil, it's going to be a struggle to make it move. So you'll be able to use these for a more accurate version of what we're doing, but without taking advantage. If I just show you my wolf, what's happened overnight since it's dried. Let's just pop those Inktense away. So here's the wolf, like I say, so we've took advantage of when we drop the ink down, it just, like I call it cauliflower, it just goes pshoosh. That's not a very technical term, it just goes pshoosh. And it just spreads out almost like blotting paper. So this was all bright purple, and I've gone in now with a white ink, dropped it down, and it's just spread out, and you can just see the bleed. It's almost like tie-dye. It's like a tie-dye wolf, and it's just all bled into each other. Now I can see that this is bleeding here. I just don't think we're going to get it to bleed as much, or with that, you know, that same sort of effect that we've got going on with the wolf. I mean, we can get it to probably get this to run quite nicely. Just make sure it doesn't run down onto the wolf. Again, you can just place more extra water down there, and that's how you can create the runs as well and control them. So you can put some liquid in here and then sort of just pull the start of the runs out here like this, and then go in with more water and just place it on the colour above, and that'll encourage those runs to begin. And you can also use, like I say, you can use a straw, and get a straw, aim it down here, and then blow, and that'll be able to blow. You'll be able to blow these in different directions as well. I don't think I've really got anything to hand that will work like a straw. Just gazing around my room to see if there is anything. No, I can't really see anything that would work. But I say that's another thing that you can do, and then that just gives you that nice dribble effect. But this is a lovely effect here. So yeah, the inks will work. They're just going to work slightly different to this. Maybe I'll do a piece using the Inktense, and then we'll see the difference, because the colours are really nice, and I've got a feeling some of them are pretty light fast. Let me just see if I can Google it quickly whilst we're just chatting here. Let's put in, at least then we've got an answer. So Inktense Lightfast. I know they're pretty light fast. I mean, they're if you put them onto fabric, they're great. So the Derwent Inktense range, its own unique Inktense formulation. Highly versatile pigment creates vivid ink-like colour when combined with water. Due to its permanence, it can be worked over without affecting previous layers. Vibrancy and versatility of Inktense can be used, and I know that it can be used on fabric. Now there's nothing there saying about the light fast results. Aha, here we go. I've actually got, if you go onto the Derwent site, same as you can with most manufacturers, it looks like you can get a copy of the light fast, saying that, colour charts. I thought it'd be on the colour charts, but as I say, there is information online. If I can find it, I will pop it into the description below. Here we go. If you go online, right, this is just on my phone, so you can go online, you can get the Derwent Inktense. They've got the actual, here's the light fast ratings here. So I know that they use the blue wool scale. Two pieces of blue wool are used to test the light fastness. One's placed in the dark, and the other one, I know that they, with the new Derwent Lightfast pencils, they actually put it out into the desert. It's literally, it goes out, and that's where it's tested. for a period of 3 months. So anything 0 to 8 is the rating, and the highest rating of value of 6 or higher are considered to be light fast. So if you go in here, go through your colours, if you look here, your light fast rating for your yellows, some of these are 8, which is literally, you can't get any higher than that. It's mostly, a lot of them are 3s and 4s, but again, you've got here some of the violets, all of the blues pretty much, they're all up in the 8s. Purple is a 6, and the problems you usually get are with the reds. So yeah, the reds are a 3 to a 4, so they're not light fast. But then you've got some of the greens are up there, 7s and 8s as well, most of those greens. Again, most of the greens are 8s, blacks, greys. So I'd say over 50% of them are right up there with on the blue wool scale of being light fast 8. It's just your usual culprits of the reds and oranges that are going to struggle. But yeah, like I say, let's go back to this test again now. That's the results there. I'll wait for it to dry as well. But I think that is pretty good. So like I say, it's different, but that's what we don't want everything to be the same, so I'd give it a try. Colours are beautiful and vivid. So it's going to work for the colour effect, just it will give a slightly different version of the bleed. So there you go, there's a little demonstration of the Derwent Inktense as opposed to the Winsor Newton drawing inks. So I've let the Inktense dry now. You can see the colours have dulled down a little bit, they're not quite as that vibrancy. You see here the vibrancy of the Winsor Newton inks. They've still maintained their vibrancy really, but the colours here have muted a little bit because this was a bright red. The bled down here and the green and the yellow. So I do feel that they sort of, I don't know, dulled, flattened. They're not quite as bright. So for me, it is an alternative. If you haven't got the inks and you've only got the Inktense, have a go. And like I say, I just then jazz it up a little bit by when you select your colours for your pencil work over the top, just take them a tiny shade brighter or a tiny shade lighter to lift them again. Okay.